Oh. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Project Dream. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to remove this seat, installing a seat bracket, installing a fire extinguisher bracket, racing seat, harness bar, and harnesses. Stay tuned. So the first step to taking your seat out is taking out 4 bolts. In the RX-7, there's 4 bolts. They're going to be located, one here in the front, located about here, one on the other side, one down there, and one on there. Basically squared off. But before you even want to consider taking your seats out, these I believe are Turbo 2 seats, and these are pretty sturdy. But for me, I want to have a harness bar and run harnesses. And in the rules, I have to have a properly made seat for that. So I got myself here a seat bracket. Now this bracket is designed for the driver's side, and what this allows me to do is to universally, it's designed for a universal type seat. So it's got all these holes in here, and so this is going to allow me to move my seat where it is instead of welding on the OEM spots and trying to get them to fit right. This will just make your life a lot easier. These can be used with professional racing seats as well. So go ahead and pick yourself up one of these before you even consider taking your seat out. So there's 1 bolt here and 1 bolt right there. There's not a lot of space in here, but about as easy as that. That's enough mockery. So that's about where our seat bracket's gonna sit. There's gonna be some modification, and it looks like the carpet's actually keeping it in there. But first, let's vacuum this up. Alright, so I went and test fitted the seat. It's kind of where I like it, but it was kind of high up and my knees were starting to get into the steering wheel, so we might have to change the wheel because it is pretty close to the dash. But there's these washers that are right here, so I want to go ahead and take those off and just kind of test it again. The other thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drill into this board. So let's go ahead, take the seat out. That's low. That is low. Alright, so before putting our seat back in, we want to install some of our harness. So what we're going to do is for the bottom part of the harness, we're going to hook it onto this bottom part of the seat belt and this part of the seat belt back here. There should just be a nice big old bolt there and a big old bolt right under this cap. Alright, so now with both sides disconnected, now we can take a look at our harnesses here. So this is the actual connector. Now this is kind of dependent on if you're left and right-handed. I am right-handed, so I'm going to install this, I think, on the right side, just because I can pull it up easier. So I'm going to install this on the left side. This will install this piece on the right side. If you have any questions about how I set this up or anything, be sure to leave them in the comments and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. We'll throw some like that. Alright, so once you get your seat in and your harness bars in, starting to look like a real race car, but there's another thing we need to make this safe in case of any emergency. And that's installing a fire extinguisher and a bracket. This is probably one of those items that's often overlooked and forgotten about. If our car ever starts on fire, we want to be able to snap this guy, pull it out, and get out of that car as fast as we can, put out that fire before damage is done. This is also required in most drift competitions, which we'll be doing this August. The second thing you're going to need is a fire bracket like this. This is a fire bracket that bolts up to the bottom of the seat. Some guys like to put them behind the seat or on the harness bar or roll cage. And personally, I don't think that's a good option, mainly because when you're getting out of the car, you need to get out fast and you need to grab that fire extinguisher. So this is everything that we get with the kit. We've got some bolts here, and then we have two tabs here and here, and there's two holes in them so we can put our bolt through. And then these two brackets are going to mount to this bracket here, this long one. And then from that bracket, we're going to install our front mounts. And then from those 2 points, we're going to install our fire extinguisher bracket. So this is where we're going to put our fire extinguisher on, and that'll mount up to those two holes just like so. Alright, so we got our fire extinguisher plates. I'm going to have to further modify just to get it sit in better, but it's going to be really up to you guys. I took some paddings that were out of there, so I'm going to have to throw some back in. Give this a lot more strength, a lot more ping to it. There you go. That's how you install your fire extinguisher mount.